Title: The Tweet That Made Selar Nigeria Millions, and Why They Ignored Everyone with a Laptop. 2020. A global pandemic locked Nigeria down. Everyone said, nobody will buy digital products from Nigerians. We do not trust online payments. We do not read ebooks. We do not pay for courses from people we do not know. Selar did not listen. They looked at one tweet. A young Nigerian creator said, I made my first 100,000 selling a PDF from my phone. No website, no laptop, just my link. That tweet became Selar's entire customer strategy. While banks were building for businesses with CSC documents, and global platforms were building for people with MacBooks, Selar built for the creator who had only a phone, a dream, and a WhatsApp audience. Today, Selar powers thousands of Nigerian creators who sell ebooks, courses, tickets, and templates, often without ever owning a computer. How? Selar found the potential customer everyone called too small to matter and tested products in ways that would make a traditional bank uncomfortable. If you are an entrepreneur, unemployed, underemployed, or trying to build something while on Social Security, Selar's story is your playbook. They did not win with funding. They won by seeing the customer others ignored and by testing where others would not dare. This is part 1 of a 3-part series. We will break down how Selar Nigeria identifies potential customers and tests products using Selar storefronts, Selar Affiliate, and Selar Pay as case studies. We will compare Selar with Paystack, Flutterwave, banks, and global platforms like Gumroad. Let us start with the principle that made Selar dangerous from day one. Why Selar Nigeria's first customer was the one with 0 followers. When Selar launched, Paystack and Flutterwave were winning with tech startups and registered businesses. Banks were winning with big merchants. Gumroad was winning with American creators who had email lists and Stripe accounts. Selar asked a different question. Who is creating value on WhatsApp, Telegram, and Twitter, but has no way to collect money? The answer was not the influencer. It was the small creator. The girl selling hair growth PDFs. The guy teaching design on WhatsApp status. The corporate selling past questions. The pastor selling sermon notes. They had no website, no CAC, no laptop. But they had one thing. An audience that trusted them enough to say, send your account number. That was Selar's potential customer. Not the one with a brand. The one with a 500. And that changed everything. Now let us get into the first 3 principles. Selar Nigeria uses to identify potential customers and test products. Principle 1. Find the customer who is already selling. Without you, what Selar Nigeria did Selar did not try to create new sellers. They looked for people who were already selling in the wild, with broken tools. Creators were using bank transfers, send proof of payment, Google Forms, and manual delivery. It was messy. It was risky, but it was happening. So Selar did not ask, do you want to sell online? They asked, are you tired of chasing payments in your DMS? That question identified a potential customer with a bleeding problem. That customer did not need education. They needed relief. That is why Selar's first product was dead simple. Upload your file, get a link, share the link, get paid. No website builder, no funnel. Just fix the pain of payment before delivery that every small creator faced. How they tested it. Selar did not do beta tests with techies. They went to Twitter and found people already selling ebooks. They DM'd them and said, try this link for your next launch. If you do not make sales in 3 days, forget us. The test metric was not signups. It was first sale velocity. If a creator with 200 followers could make a sale in 48 hours, using only their phone, Selar had a potential customer. If not, the product was too complex. That is how Selar storefronts evolved. Because the real test was, can a JAMB tutorial creator sell past questions from a village with bad network, using only WhatsApp? Compare with others, Paystack and Flutterwave, built for developers. You need a website. You need API keys. You need to be technical. Selar built for the opposite. If you can post a WhatsApp status, you can use Selar. Gumroad built for creators with email lists. Selar built for creators with WhatsApp contacts. Banks built for businesses with offices. Selar built for businesses with data bundles. Many startups build tools and then look for users. Selar found users with pain and built the tool around their shabbiness, not their sophistication. For you, the entrepreneur, stop looking for people who may buy. Look for people who are already selling with duct tape and prayers. Your potential customer is not the one who says, "Nice idea." It is the one who says, "I am doing this already and it is stressing me." Test by solving their current stress, not their future dream. If they switch today, you have won. Principle 2. Build for the phone, not the pitch deck. What Selar Nigeria did. Selar knows their potential customer does not open a laptop. They live on Android phones. They edit with Canva Mobile. They write with Google Docs app. They sell with voice notes. So Selar made sure everything worked on a phone first. Upload a file from your phone. Set a price from your phone. Withdraw to your bank from your phone. See your sales dashboard on your phone. While other platforms were building beautiful desktop dashboards, Selar was asking, can a mother of two upload her recipe book while her pot is on fire? If yes, ship it. If no, simplify it. That is why Selar's early users were not tech bros. They were fashion tutors, fitness coaches, graphic designers, and church media teams. People who had skills, but no startup setup. How they tested it. Selar runs 1. Thumb tests. Can a user complete the entire flow from product upload to first withdrawal using only one thumb on a slow network with interruptions? Flip testers would create a product while in a kek with calls coming in. If they failed, the UI failed. The test was not, is it intuitive? The test was, is it interruptible? Because a Selar customer's life is full of interruptions. Kids, customers, NEPA. If your product needs focus, you have lost them. Compare with others global platforms like Teachable and Thinkific. Assume you have a laptop, a camera, and hours to set up. Banks assume you have time to visit a branch. Selar assumes you have 10 minutes. 1 bar of network. A Nigerian course platform launched with a desktop-only creator dashboard. Creators complained. The founder said, just use a laptop. Selar would have killed that feature in 1 day. Because the customer they served does not have that option. Selar does not build for the customer you wish you had. They build for the customer who exists. For you, the entrepreneur. Look at your customer as worst device, not their best. If your product works on a cracked TCN-O with 2% battery, it will fly. Test by borrowing someone's market phone. If you cannot get value, your customer cannot either. Do not build for the pitch deck. Build for the palm. Principle 3. Use public shame and public praise as your filter. What Selar Nigeria did. Selar knows that Nigerian creators live and die by social proof. If one person says, Selar scammed me, 10 potential customers vanish. If one person says, I cashed out from Selar today, 20 new signups appear. So Selar identified a potential customer who is deeply social. The creator who posts screenshots of alerts. The one who says, thank you Selar, on Twitter. The one who teaches others how to use Selar on YouTube for free. That customer is not just a user. They are a channel. Selar built features that make it easy to brag. Automatic payout notifications. Shareable sales milestones. I just made my first sale. Graphics. Because in Nigeria, proof is marketing. How they tested it. Selar watches Twitter and WhatsApp every day. The test is called screenshot velocity. How fast after a payout does a user post a screenshot? If it is within 1 hour, the product is delivering emotional value, not just financial value. If nobody posts, the product is functional but forgettable. That is why Selar Pay was built. Creators were begging for faster payouts because they wanted to post alerts faster. Selar did not guess that. They saw the behavior. The potential customer was not the one who needed money in 7 days. It was the one who needed money before their next tweet. Compare with others. Paystack and Flutterwave focus on reliability and API uptime. That is for developers. Selar focuses on alert joy. That is for creators. Banks focus on security and send alerts with no excitement. Selar makes alerts feel like wins. A global platform might hide your earnings until month-end. Selar shows you in real time because they know a creator with 10,000 naira in pending balance will market harder than one with zero visibility. Other companies fear public complaints. Selar fears public silence. If nobody is talking about you, good or bad, you do not have a customer. You have a ghost. For you, the entrepreneur, build features that make your customer look good when they use you. Test by asking, would you post about this? If the answer is, no, your product is private and forgettable. If the answer is, yes, let me screenshot, you have found a potential customer who will market for free. In Nigeria, we buy from people we see winning. Make your customer the winner. Where this leaves us, Selar Nigeria did not win by copying Silicon Valley. They won by watching Nigerian WhatsApp. They found customers who were already selling with pain. They built for the phone, not the office. And they turned payouts into marketing. If you are building something, stop asking who has a business. Ask who is already collecting money in a stressful way. Stop building for users. Build for posters. And stop testing in calm. Test in chaos. In Part 2, we will cover Principle 4 through Principle 6. We will talk about how Selar uses 500 tests, why they launch with affiliates before ads, and the failed launch rule that decides which features die. Plus, we will break down 3 mistakes that banks, global platforms, and even local startups make when they ignore the phone-first creator. If Part 1 gave you one idea to test this week, subscribe to my YouTube channel now. I am breaking down every Nigerian business playbook into steps you can use with just your phone. No foreign theory, no startup fluff, just what works from Lagos to Lokoja. Comment below. Are you selling something in your DMS right now? What is the most stressful part? I read every comment. I might use your story in Part 2. Do not wait to be a big creator. Start with the phone you have. I will see you in Part 2. Title: The 500 that killed a Selar feature in one day, and why that made them faster than banks. Welcome to Part 2. In Part 1, Selar Nigeria taught us to find the customer already selling in DMs, to build for the phone not the laptop, and to use public praise as product fuel. Now here is the part that makes most product teams sweat. Selar once killed a new feature 12 hours after launch. Not because it was broken. Because one creator deemed them and said, "This will confuse my buyers." No meeting, no committee, just gone. While banks spend 6 months on approvals, Selar spends 6 hours on feedback. While global platforms test with surveys, Selar tests with screenshots from real WhatsApp chats. That is why they move faster than anyone in Nigerian digital commerce. If you are an entrepreneur, unemployed, underemployed, or building while on social security, this is where you learn to test like Selar. No budget, no team, just your phone and a real customer willing to be honest. This is Part 2, Principle 4 through Principle 6. 3 mistakes others keep making. And the exact 500 test Selar uses to validate ideas before writing code. Principle 4. Use the 500 test before you build anything. What Selar Nigeria did. Selar knows that Nigerian creators live in DMS. That is where trust is built. That is where objections happen. That is where sales die. So before Selar builds a feature, they test the conversation. Example: when creators asked for subscriptions, Selar did not build a subscription engine first. They asked 10 top creators to send them a voice note. You explain monthly payments to your audience right now. The answers were messy. Oga, my people no go understand. They will think I am scamming them. How will I remind them? Selar realized the potential customer was not ready for subscriptions. The real pain was, how do I collect second payment without begging? So Selar built payment plans first. It is subscriptions, but called something Nigerians already understand. Installments. That came from DMs, not from a product roadmap. How they tested it. Selar calls it the screenshot test. They mock a feature with Canva or Figma, send it to 5 active creators, and say, pretend this is live. Send it to your audience and screenshot their replies. If the replies are, "How do I pay?" or "Send link," the feature passes. If the replies are, "I no understand," or "Silence," the feature dies. Selar does not measure clicks. They measure confusion. Confusion kills sales. That is how Selar Affiliate was validated. Creators sent a mock-up to their fans saying, "Promote my ebook and earn." The DMS blew up with, "How?" Selar knew they had a potential customer who did not just want to sell. They wanted others to sell for them. Compare with others. Paystack and Flutterwave test with developers in sandboxes. Banks test with focus groups in air-conditioned rooms. Gumroad tests with email list owners. Selar tests with a creator's WhatsApp status. Because that is where the real customer lives. A Nigerian edtech startup built a co-earning feature because it looked good on a pitch deck. They never deemed a student to ask, "If I group you with strangers, will you pay more?" Selar would have killed that in one day. Because in Nigeria, strangers in a paid group often mean wahala, not value. For you, the entrepreneur. Before you build, fake it. Design one image. Write one message. Send it to 5 people who fit your customer. Tell them to forward it to their audience. And then collect screenshots of replies. If the replies are questions about payment, you have a potential customer. If the replies are, "Okay," you have a hobby. Test the conversation before the code. DMS are cheaper than developers. Principle 5. Launch with affiliates, not with ads. What Selar Nigeria did, Selar knows their potential customer does not trust ads. They trust people, especially people who look like them. So Selar did not launch with Facebook ads. They launched with affiliates. From day one, every Selar product link had a built-in affiliate system. If you share my ebook as someone buys, you earn. No code needed. No approval process. Just your link. Why? Because Selar identified a second potential customer. The broke student, the stay-at-home mom, the NYSC corper who has time but no product. They want to earn, but they do not want to create. Selar gave them away. That is why Selar grew. Creators got sales. Affiliates got cash. Selar got volume. Everyone won. And the best part, affiliates became creators later. The person who earned 10,000 Naira sharing links started asking, "Can I sell my own thing?" Selar did not just find customers. They created them. How they tested it. Selar runs affiliate spark tests. They pick a new creator with under 1,000 followers. Hey, give them 10 affiliates from their own network. If those 10 affiliates can drive 3 sales in 72 hours, the system works. If not, the product is too hard to explain. The metric is not total sales. It is sales by strangers. Because if only friends buy, you do not have a product. You have a favor. Selar wants proof that a link can travel outside the creator's circle and still convert. That is how they know the potential customer is real, not just loyal. Compare with others. Banks launch products with billboards. Global platforms launch with influencer deals. Paystack launches with developer content. Selar launches with incentives. They turn every user into a salesperson. Nigerian course platforms spent millions on ads to get students. Selar spent zero and let affiliates do it for a cut. The platform shut down. Selar scaled. Because ads rent attention. Affiliates own trust. Other companies see affiliates as advanced. Selar sees them as day one. Because the customer who cannot create can still distribute. And in Nigeria, distribution beats creation. For you, the entrepreneur, ask yourself, who can sell this better than me? And give them a reason to. Test by giving 5 people a simple way to earn from your idea. No app, no dashboard. Just share this and earn. If they bring you 1 sale each, you do not have a marketing problem. You have a product. If they go silent, your offer is not clear enough. Affiliates are your cheapest testers. Principle 6. Use the failed launch rule. What Selar Nigeria did. Selar is not afraid to launch things that flop, but they are terrified of keeping them alive. They have a rule. If a new feature does not get used by real customers in 7 days, it is cut. No debate. No, let us educate users. Example. Selar once tested bundled products. Creators could sell free ebooks together. It looked smart, but creators did not use it. Why? Their audience got confused. Which one am I buying? Sales dropped. Seller killed it in a week. They learned that their potential customer wants simplicity. One product, one price, one click. Bundles are for Amazon. Selar is for WhatsApp. That rule keeps Selar fast. Because in Nigeria, speed beats perfection. If you wait to be sure, someone else will launch the simple version and win. Hatley tested it. Selar watches Day 7 adoption. Every feature must be used by at least 5% of active creators within 7 days of launch. Not viewed, used. If a creator uploads a product, sets a price, and shares the link, that counts. If they just click around, it does not. If the number is low, Seller sends DMs. Oh, why did you not use it? The answers are gold. Too much work. My buyers will not understand. I do not need it. That feedback kills the feature faster than any data dashboard. Seller as potential customer votes with action, not with words. Silence is a no. Compare to others. Banks keep failed USSD menus for years because someone might use it. Global platforms keep features because the roadmap said so. Seller deletes because every bad feature makes the good ones harder to find. A Nigerian fintech kept a savings circle feature for 8 months with less than 1% usage. They kept hoping. Seller would have killed it on day 8 and asked creators, "What do you actually need?" Then built that. Other companies fall in love with their builds. Seller falls in love with their users. That is why they ship weekly and others ship yearly. For you, the entrepreneur, set a death date for every test. Have real people do not use your idea in 7 days. Kill it. Do not tweak. Do not pray. Kill it. Then ask your potential customer, "What did I miss?" Their answer is your next build. Failed fast is not failure. Failed slow is. In Nigeria, speed is a feature. 3 mistakes other companies make with creator customers. Seller avoids these. Most platforms do not. Mistake 1. Building for creators. With Teams global tools, assume you have a designer, a video editor, and a launch manager. Seller knows their customer is the team. They are the writer, the designer, the marketer, and the customer care. If your tool needs a team, you have lost the Nigerian creator. They will go back to WhatsApp and Canva. Test by doing everything yourself on your phone. If you get tired, your customer is already gone. Mistake 2. Hiding money. Banks hold money for 7 days. Global platforms pay monthly. Creators need money now to buy data, to boost posts, to eat. Seller pays fast because they know a creator with cash will create more and sell more. If you hold their money, you hold their growth. The potential customer for digital products is not patient. They are hungry. Feed them or lose them. Mistake 3. Caching instead of enabling. Many platforms run webinars on how to be a creator. Seller runs features that let you sell even if you are not a creator yet. Affiliate, collaborate. Because education is slow. Enablement is instant. A customer who earns 10,000 Naira today will watch your webinar tomorrow. A customer who watches your webinar today may never earn. Build the earning path first. Teach later. Lessons learned from Selar, Nigeria. Let us make this practical. 1. Your potential customer is already talking to buyers in DMS. Test your idea there before you build anything. Screenshots are your MVP. 2. If you cannot sell through affiliates on day 1, your product is too complex. The Nigerian market runs on trust, not ads. Incentivize sharing before spending. Kill fast. 7 days is enough to know. If real users do not touch it, your opinion does not matter. The market is the only boss. 4. Your customer's phone is your office. If it does not work on one bar, with one thumb, and with interruptions, it does not work. Period. What is next in part 3? In the final part, we will cover Principle 7 and Principle 8. How Seller uses Alert Envy to drive growth, and why they let customers teach each other instead of hiring support. We will do a full side-by-side of Seller versus Paystack, Flutterwave, Gumroad, and Banks. And I will give you the Seller 500 test script you can copy tonight to validate any digital product idea. If part 2 gave you a new way to test, subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Every week, I break down one Nigerian company's playbook into steps you can use with just your phone and your WhatsApp. No foreign case studies. No theory. Just what works from Enugu to Abuja. Comment below. Have you ever sold something in your 500? What was the hardest part? I rate every comment, and I will use the best stories in part 3. Do not build in silence. Test in DMS. I will see you in part 3. Title: The Alert Screenshot that Built Selar Nigeria and Why They Fired Their Own Support Team. You made it to part 3. In part 1, Selar Nigeria showed us how to find customers already selling in DMs. In part 2, we learned the 500 test, the power of affiliates, and why Selar kills features in 7 days if nobody uses them. Now for the final piece. The one that sounds backwards. Selar does not hire a big customer support team. They do not run expensive webinars. They do not beg creators to teach courses on how to sell. Instead, they do one thing. They make payouts so fast and so public that customers become the support team. A creator posts, "Selar just paid me," and 10 new creators sign up and ask that creator, "How?" Selar watches. Selar learns. Selar ships. That is why a platform built in Nigeria now competes with global tools. Because Selar understands something Paystack, Flutterwave, and banks often miss. The potential customer for digital products does not trust companies. They trust alerts. And they trust people who look like them. This is part 3. Principle 7 and Principle 8. 3 more mistakes others make. The full Selar versus everybody breakdown. And the 500 test script you can use tonight to validate any idea. If you are an entrepreneur, unemployed, underemployed, or building while on Social Security, this is where you learn to turn customers into your marketing team. Principle 7. Use alert envy to drive growth. What's Selar Nigeria? Did Selar knows one truth about Nigerian creators? Hate? Do not buy because of features. They buy because they saw someone else cash out. That is called alert envy, and Selar designed for it. Every time a creator gets paid on Selar, they get a notification that is easy to screenshot. Clean. Big numbers. Selar branding. No clutter. Why? Because Selar knows that screenshot will end up on Twitter, on WhatsApp status, and in groups. And that screenshot is the best ad Selar never paid for. Selar identified a potential customer who is motivated by proof, not promises. The customer who says, "If Elda can make 100,000 selling Canva templates, maybe I can too." So Selar made Ada's alert easy to share. That is why Selar Pay was a game changer. Faster payouts meant faster screenshots. Faster screenshots meant faster signups. Selar did not grow with ads. Selar grew with envy. How they tested it. Selar runs screenshot spread tests. When they change anything about payouts, they watch social media for 24 hours. Metric 1. How many payout screenshots are posted? Metric 2. How many new creators mention, "I saw someone cash out," when they sign up? If both numbers rise, the change works. If screenshots drop, even if payouts are faster, Selar rolls back. Because for their potential customer, perception is reality. A quiet payout is a wasted payout. That is why Selar celebrates milestones publicly. 1,000 creators got paid today. This creator made their first million. They do not hide numbers. They weaponize them. Because in Nigeria, we do not believe testimonials. We believe alerts. Compare with others' banks. Send alerts that look like debt, debit, charges, stamp duty. Global platforms send emails that say, "Your payout is processing." Paystack and Flutterwave send professional receipts. Useful, but not shareable. Selar sends alerts that look like wins. And creators post them. A Paystack alert rarely goes viral. A Selar alert does. That is the difference between serving businesses and serving humans. Other platforms wait for case studies. Selar lets customers create the case studies in real time, on Twitter, for free. That is how they identify their next wave of potential customers. They watch who replies, "How did you do it?" under an alert screenshot. For you, the entrepreneur, build a brag feature into your product. Can your customer show off after using you? Can they prove value in one image? Test by asking 5 users to share their win. For if they struggle to explain it, you have built a secret. Fifly cannot wait to post it. You have built a magnet. In Nigeria, alert envy is stronger than Facebook ads. Design for it. Principle 8. Let customers teach each other, then you listen. What Selar Nigeria did. Selar does not run a big support team. They run a big listening team. Because they know their potential customer trusts another creator more than they trust a help article. So Selar watches Twitter Spaces, WhatsApp groups, and Telegram channels where creators teach each other how to sell on Selar. Selar rarely jumps in. They take notes. When 20 creators ask, "How do I add bonuses?" Selar builds bonuses. When creators complain, "My buyers do not trust links," Selar adds custom domains. Selar identified a potential customer who is both the student and the teacher. The same person who asks for help today will make a tutorial tomorrow. Selar's job is not to be the smartest. It is to be the fastest to ship what the community is already teaching. How they tested it. Selar uses tutorial echo tests. They track which user-made tutorials get the most views and saves. If a YouTube video called, "How I Made 50,000 on Selar with No Followers" blows up, Selar studies it. What did the creator emphasize? What did they skip? What did commenters ask? That becomes the next feature brief. Because if real users are teaching it, real users need it. Selar does not guess. They let the market do the onboarding. Then they remove friction from what is already working. That is why Selar's help docs are short. Because the real help docs are Twitter threads by @Kemi the creator. Selar just makes sure Kemi does not hit a wall. Compare with others. Global platforms build huge knowledge bases. Hanks build training centers. Paystack builds developer documentation. Selar builds a product so simple that a creator can explain it in a 1-minute voice note. Other companies see user education as their job. Selar sees it as the user's job, and Selar's job is to make that job easy. When a platform needs a 3-day course to explain, Selar knows it failed. When a creator can teach it while cooking, Selar knows it passed. For you, the entrepreneur, do not hire support. Create support. Watch who is already teaching your product to others. Then, ask them, what is the hardest part to explain? Fix that. Test by finding one user who loves you and asking them to teach one friend live. Record it. Every pause, every wait let me check, is a product bug. Your potential customer will tell you what to build if you shut up and watch them teach. 3 more mistakes other companies make with creator customers. Selar avoids these. Most platforms do not. Mistake 4. Optimizing for the top 1%. Global tools build for creators with 10,000 followers. Banks build for businesses with CSE and office addresses. Selar builds for the creator with 0 followers and a dream. Because in Nigeria, today as 0 is tomorrow as 100,000. If your onboarding asks for website and monthly revenue, you have already lost the potential customer. Selar is converting. Test with the person who is embarrassed by their numbers. If they succeed, everyone else will. Mistake 5. Building separate tools for each country. Some platforms say, Nigeria is hard, and give us a limited version. Selar says, Nigeria is the standard, and builds here first. That is why features like USSD payments, bank transfer, and WhatsApp delivery exist. Because their potential customer does not have Stripe. They have OPay. If you build for the US and adapt for Nigeria, you have already insulted the customer. Selar builds for Nigeria and lets the US adapt if they want. Mistake 6. King payment is the end. Paystack and Flutterwave stop at payment successful. Selar starts there. Because the creator's problem, it is delivering the product, handling refunds, dealing with "I did not get it," and selling again. Selar built file delivery, email automation, affiliates, and analytics because the potential customer needs the whole journey, not just the transaction. If you only solve payment, you are a tool. If you solve the next problem, you are a partner. Lessons learned. The Selar 500 test script. You asked for something practical. Here is the exact 500 flow Selar uses to test ideas with creators. Copy it tonight. 1. Find a creator already selling something manually. Check Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp status. 2. 500 them. I saw you selling X. What is the most annoying part after someone pays? Do not pitch. Listen. 3. If they say, sending the file, confirming payment, or answering same questions, you have a pain. 4. Mock up a solution in one image. No code. Just. What if you had a link that did this? 5. Ask them to send that image to 3 buyers and screenshot the replies. 6. If the replies are, send a link, or, how much, you have a potential customer. If the replies are, I do not get it, you have a lesson. This is how Sela validates features in 24 hours. No surveys. No focus groups. Just DMs and screenshots. If the conversation moves to money, the product is real. Selar Nigeria versus everybody. The final breakdown. Let us put all 8 principles together. On who the customer is, Paystack says, the developer with a website. Flutterwave says, the business with scale. Banks say, registered company with documents. Gumroad says, the creator with an email list. Selar says, the person with a phone, a skill, and a 500. Selar wins the customer before they become a business. On how to test, others test with sandboxes, surveys, and pilots. Selar tests with screenshots, voice notes, and send me the link energy. If it does not work in a WhatsApp chat, it does not work. On what growth means, others count revenue. Selar counts creators who went from 0 to first sale. Because that first sale creates an evangelist. And evangelists do not need ads. On failure, others fear public failure. Selar fears public silence. If nobody is posting alerts, complaining, or teaching, the product is dead even if the code is perfect. Final word, Selar Nigeria did not build a platform. They built a path. A path from, I have something to sell, to, I just got paid, using only a phone. Found potential customers in DMS, not in boardrooms. Had they tested with screenshots, not with spreadsheets. And they turned every payout into a marketing campaign. You can do the same. You do not need investors. You need to find someone already selling with stress. You do not need code. You need a mock-up and a 500. And you do not need to guess who your customer is. You need to watch who posts an alert and says, hey, thank you, Selar. That build for their friends. That is the Selar way. Phone first. 500 first. Proof first. If this 3-part series gave you a new way to see customers, subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Every week I break down one Nigerian company's playbook into steps you can use with zero capital. No foreign theory. No motivational talk. Just what works from Aba to Abuja. Comment below. What are you selling in your 500 right now? And what is the most annoying part after someone pays? I read every comment and I will help you design your 500 test for free. Stop waiting to be ready. Start with the customer who is already trying.